I work till midnight and let my obsession just completely control me. I see the work I got done. I'm probably really productive, got a lot done. And I'm like, oh, wow, I love that reward. I feel like I got so much done. I should do the same thing tonight. Only the next night, I get a lot less done because I'm so much more tired. So I start to see the diminishing returns of it. I need to keep my obsession controlled. I need to maintain scarcity of my obsession so that I can keep getting high return value.
The Grateful Podcast with Jack Wagoner presents. Subscribe.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Grateful Podcast, where each and every week we talk about how we can pursue our goals and stay ambitious while focusing on the now and what we're grateful for. I believe that building on appreciation and pulling ourselves toward what we love is much more effective than pushing ourselves away from a life we hate by striving towards something better. All right. For all you listening, I put better in quotation marks there. I'm sorry that this episode, this solo episode, I release solo episodes every Monday, is going out a little later than usual. It is actually Monday right now, so I'm recording day of posting. I had an insane weekend this weekend, but it was very fun. And it was full of things that were completely unrelated to the podcast or business or any of my work. I worked my other job. For any of you that don't know, I'm a climbing instructor, so rock climbing is very fun. And that's really what this weekend was. I had a rock climbing competition in Burlington, Vermont, and stayed with some friends, and it was a lot of fun. I placed 12th out of 60 people, climbed well. I'm so sore. I haven't done a comp in like a year and a half, so it was a lot of fun. I've been trying really hard recently to let myself live life. It's my senior year of high school, and I'm still trying to have fun while also pursuing all of these things that I'm super excited to be going after. This podcast is lighting me up in so many ways. I love it, and I want to keep it that way. It's so important to find a way to work hard while also living and having a blast. And yeah, what I talk about here is ideally your work should be really fun. You should want to work. I want to live to work. I don't want to work to live. That quote, work to live, is, no, you work so much time in your life. You should love what you do. But I've learned that if work is all you do, no matter how you love it, no matter how fun it is, the want to do it wears off little by little. With this podcast, I'm trying really goddamn hard to keep it as something I love to do. And doing that means I must prioritize other things. I can't do this all the time. Now, I don't want to make it seem like I have balance all figured out, because I don't at all. I'm the first to admit that I'm a hardcore workaholic, and I know that. I try to work on it. That's why I try to make myself understand that I do need balance in order to succeed. My success comes from the fact that I absolutely love what I'm doing. This lights me up. I'm so happy being here right now. I'm not even talking to anyone. I'm just talking to an audience, just talking to myself, and I love it so much. My interviews are, in my opinion, fantastic because I'm genuinely just so curious. I love to learn. I want to learn. And I really want to keep that alive. It's only been 2 months of this right now, and I just want to keep that curiosity, that genuine love to do what I do real, because that's what makes something worth listening to. A good metaphor I have is if you drink coffee every day because you love it so much, the effects of the caffeine will start to diminish over time. With your smaller reactions, you think, oh, I should just drink it more. So you start to drink it every single day. But the thing is, you start to drink it even more, like 2 cups every single day, because you think that will give you the effects you wanted. Maybe at first it will, but then it starts to wear off again, right? And so it just continues the same cycle of the effects wear off, the effects of caffeine wear off. So instead, the smart thing to do would be to cut back to maybe 3 times a week and maintain scarcity with the caffeine, so you can feel the effects of it, so you can really enjoy it. And I believe this to be a very, very accurate metaphor for my work. If, for example, I work till midnight, and let my obsession just completely control me, I see the work I got done. I'm probably really productive, got a lot done, and I'm like, oh, wow, I love that reward. I feel like I got so much done. I should do the same thing tonight. Only the next night, I get a lot less done because I'm so much more tired. So I start to see the diminishing returns of it. I need to keep my obsession controlled. I need to maintain scarcity of my obsession so that I can keep getting high return value, keep getting these positive effects. So after this super fun weekend full of unrelated things to my podcast, I'm kind of worn out from the spontaneity, wow, and adventure, and I'm really ready to get back and lock in on my podcast. I can't wait. By maintaining scarcity, I continue to feed my obsession efficiently. And I just think that it's not talked about enough. I mean, I've said before, you need to lock in, you need to sacrifice some of your fun, but I think it's to a certain extent. I mean, I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm a workaholic. I'm definitely not 50-50 in fun and work. It's definitely more like 80-20 or even higher, skewing towards work. I looked at my screen time report last week and I spent like 11 hours average on my computer. That's a lot. That's a lot of time. And although that's all work, it doesn't feel real. Like we don't live to just be on a screen. And I think that's one interesting side effect of things moving towards screens and work moving towards screens. I love my time I spend doing this podcast and talking to people. I really built this because I want to build relationships with people and talk to new people. And that's one of my favorite things to do. One interesting thing I didn't think about as much is how much time I have to actually spend in my room alone, editing, crafting thumbnails, researching people, reading books, and I love that. I love it because it's all part of the work I'm doing and it's getting me closer to what I want to do. But sometimes it's like, come on, you gotta live life. That's not super fulfilling if all you're doing is in your room alone on a screen because you don't really see tangible effects of it. Everyone says this, right? Everyone successful says this, but the hardest thing to do is work super hard when you see no results. You need to work the hardest at the beginning. The hardest part about that is that's when you see the least return from your hard work. You have no one really rooting for you at the beginning. You don't have a fan base. You don't have anything. And so you need to just blindly trust that it's going to work out. And that's why so many people quit at the beginning. If you can just my big thing is I like to set time frames. I like to set periods for myself so I know I'm not going to quit in that time period. I set a commitment, 6 months, 10 months, a year, 4 years, whatever it may be for you. But if you want to do something, my recommendation is that you say, I'm going to do it for this long, and then I can revisit whether I want to keep doing it or if I want to quit, because that beginning time period, you're not going to see anything. It's unrealistic to think that you're going to get big results out of the first month, out of the first 6 months. The real progress comes after that. But you're building a base, and that hard work is needed at the beginning, even if you're not seeing anything from it, even if nothing seems to be coming from it. You just have to trust that eventually it will, that eventually it'll pay off. Good karma. It's the hardest thing. And even me saying this right now is almost trying to convince myself of the fact that it will work, because you know how many times I doubt it? Every time I'm trying to do something difficult, I go through these waves in my head where at first I'm ignorant and I believe, because I'm a very confident person, that I will succeed, that there's nothing that could bring me down no matter what. And then in everything I've ever done, I've gone through a phase right after that where I'm like, oh my God, a lot of people are trying to do this. What makes me different? How am I going to differentiate myself? There's no way I'll ever succeed. This is crazy. And then I go through a point where I learn a little bit and I think to myself, oh, okay, I'm getting the skills. I think I'm good enough. Then I go through it and I'm like, what? Everyone already knows this. I hit that point. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be really hard to do, which I knew going into it, but harder than I expected. I start to doubt myself more. And then I hit another point where I think, okay, I think I figured it out. I think I'm better than these people. And I think I'm right on the line of the doubting myself, the third one and the fourth one. I think I'm getting over that hump, but I don't know. It's really hard, and doubting yourself is going to happen. Anyone that meets me will corroborate the fact that I'm one of the most outwardly confident people, and I still think it's really important that you understand that I doubt myself sometimes. Everyone doubts yourself. Everyone doubts themselves, and doubting yourself isn't some message from the universe that you're going to fail. If anything, it's a message from the universe that you're pushing yourself hard enough to a point past where other people will push themselves, and you might be able to succeed from it. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's just me convincing myself that, again, maybe I'm just convincing myself that I'm better than I actually am. Maybe I'm being unrealistic. Maybe I won't succeed. But I think you will, and I'd like to believe that everything does pay off. All this hard work will pay off. That's what everyone that's made it says. Someone was telling me the other day, like, yeah, all these people have made it, but you see them and you don't see the people that haven't made it. So although maybe they all believe the same thing, you're only getting the message from the successful people. And honestly, I don't know why someone would... That person was just trying to look out for me, you know? And trying to let me know that maybe I'm being overconfident. But yeah, they're right. They're right. We only see the people's word that we hear. It comes from the people that have succeeded. So we neglect the 99% that have failed, and we attribute the successes to effort and the failures to a lack of effort. The important thing to remember is that hard work and all this effort over time, it doesn't guarantee the good karma I was talking about. There's no guarantee that all that hard work will pay off, but not doing it does guarantee that it won't. In case you didn't understand what I just said, it's the hard work does not guarantee success, but not working hard guarantees failure. It's why doing something like this is not for everyone. It's why because it's not, there's no guarantee of success. Genuinely, maybe I could be the best interviewer, the best podcaster in the world and post 1,000 episodes and wouldn't make enough money to support myself or wouldn't get a lot of listeners, maybe. But it seems wrong in my mind, everything that I've been conditioned to believe. And so I'm just going to go for it because there's a gamble I'm taking. I'm taking a risk. Anyone that's starting something themselves or going after their dreams, they're taking a risk. There's no guarantee that anything you're doing is going to pay off. It's delusional to think there is some guarantee. But none of it's gonna work out. You'll never reach your dreams if you don't even try. So you have to make the decision of either trying and having some slim chance at pulling out a win, or not trying and 100% never doing it. Personally, I could just never live with the idea of what if. And so tying this back to my original concept of scarcity, of obsession, I don't want to, this obsession, this almost fear to ask what if is really real. from many people I've talked to, from professional athletes to, I guess, influencers with 500K plus followers, and that they never knew they would succeed. They just had a feeling that it could pay. I don't know. I don't think that's the best phrasing of it, because in my mind, I feel like I know I'll succeed. They had this obsession that they thought would pay off in some way or another, even if they didn't know how. And that obsession led them and was this fire under their asses to just go for it. But a lot of those people said that I've met people that said they got burned out of it. And that's what I don't want to let myself do, because I want to keep that obsession scarce. I want to keep what I'm doing. I want to keep it as something I want to do. And so keeping balance in my life, doing the other thing. You don't need only one thing to light you up. You can have many things in your life that light you up. And so prioritizing those other things and prioritizing the people in your life that bring you value is going to help keep your work something you want to do. I get home from, or I get done working out or get done climbing or going out to coffee with some friends, and I want to work harder. Not because I didn't enjoy what I was doing before and wished I was working on my podcast, but because they just reminded me of the things I love in life and how I love this too. One concept I've been really stuck on, and this is going maybe a little off track, but it feels in line with this whole idea in my mind, is just holding multiple perspectives at once. As humans, we're naturally really black and white in the way we think about things, which makes sense. Evolutionarily, we want to have either this is good or this is bad opinion about something. This is going to help me live longer and reproduce, or this is going to, maybe this is a threat to that. But we can move away from that idea in modern society, and we can hold multiple things in our head at once. So you can love work and you can love your friends and your friendships, and you can be completely obsessed over one thing and go pretty close to all in while also feeding other things. And that's one of the reasons I think I'm so happy in life, because I've learned how to feed the things that light me up, especially like with friends and with work. Feeding the things that light you up is so important, and you can do multiple things at once. Don't let anyone online tell you have to cut all your friends out. I hate the idea of what people call monk mode, where they, like 90 days, cut everyone out to lock all in on something. You're going to get burnt out. You're not going to want to do it anymore. You got to keep that obsession scarce, like that coffee metaphor. All right, so we're going to just keep it short today. I hope you enjoyed it. I have 2 more episodes coming out this week. Wednesday, I have an episode with my friend named Gavin. Super good. He's a young entrepreneur, and we talk about just the entrepreneurial journey at a young age and what drives us towards doing something different and choosing a different path. And then Saturday, I have an episode with David George Brooke, that gratitude guy, he's a speaker. He travels around the country. He's been in over 30 states. Oh, he gave me the number. I'm forgetting right now, but I guess you'll just have to listen to the episode, check it out. Last week I had some good episodes too. David from Today I'm Grateful on Saturday last week, and Deb, who's a nurse specialist for kids age 0 to 6, and talked about how our emotions from 0 to 6 affect us the rest of our lives. had some really good episodes coming out. And so if you want, go check those out. I thank you so much for listening today. It would really, really, really mean a lot to me if you could share this episode with someone, because I think that's the best way that podcasts get around. If I hear a good episode, I'll share it with someone that I think would enjoy it, and they'll share it with someone they think would enjoy it, and that's how you really build a community around this stuff. I would also really appreciate a review, because if people go onto my podcast and they see good reviews, they'll listen, and this message can get out to more people. At least I think that's how it works, and I would love to do that. So thank you so much for listening or watching, however you consume this today. I hope you stay grateful. Have a great week. Love you all.